What is up, DTube? So today I want to talk a little bit about a tweet that I saw, an official tweet on HEX crypto Twitter page, and it said a pretty big announcement might come in 7 days. Stay tuned. And so we may see something big happening, a big announcement coming in 7 days. And I was considering a little bit what this may be. And one theory is that it may be margin trading for HEX. So we know that there is a lot of people that want to margin trade HEX, just as people can margin trade other stuff. For example, if you don't know, one of the big revenue sources for some companies like BitMEX is this margin trade aspect that people like to go 100x long or go 100x short on Bitcoin. And basically what that means is, okay, so if you would go 100x long on HEX, then you would, I think you would be allowed to borrow 100x more HEX than you have. And then is it that if it doubles in value, is it that if it doubles in value you make 100x, or is it that if it goes up 1% you make 100x? I don't really know, but the percentages doesn't really matter. But it's still kind of interesting here that something big may happen in 7 days, and it would be pretty cool if it was margin trading, because even though a lot of people do not like it, I don't like it. I checked it out with BitMEX 2019 just to see what it was, but I didn't really like it at all. But if HEX can have these things that other cryptos have, and all these things that other people want, so there's a lot of people that want to be able to margin trade HEX. You would, in theory, if that would be what this is, we don't even know what it is. It may just be an announcement that HEX is being listed on a major exchange, maybe, I don't know, but like some big exchange, like some mega big exchange, maybe like a top 5 exchange or something like that. But if it is margin trading, it may open up a window where so many more people get introduced to HEX, because especially if it would be margin trading, if it would happen on chain, because that is at the moment I don't think you can like in an open source way. I don't think you can. I mean, the thing that BitMEX are using, I don't think that is like open source whatever they are using. But if you would be able to do this on chain, have margin trading, that would be pretty interesting. So we know that, for example, Binance is also using margin trading, but they are not doing it on chain, and I don't think it's open source. So who knows? It may be be able to margin trade HEX. Now that would mean that yeah, people would be able to short HEX, people would be able to long HEX. So if they had a big belief that it would oh, I think that HEX is going to go down the next month, then they would be able to bet on that with HEX. And if they're right, then they can basically profit on that. So we have this, like, I mean, everything is like a speculation bubble, so people love to speculate on everything these days. So they probably would enjoy to be able to margin trade HEX. Now, there was some other interesting things also that we may see. I think ETH 2.0 may come already in August the 4th. And there was also some interesting stuff happening that I saw in a tweet, and that was that on Ethereum, and since HEX is living on Ethereum, we now soon have CK Sync is what it's being called, that allows instant confirmations. of ERC20 token transfers or ETH, which includes HEX because HEX is an ERC20 token. So this would include zero cost account creation, mainnet level security, low transaction fees. This is one of the key things because at the moment when you are doing a transaction of HEX on Ethereum, it usually costs a couple of cents. And here it seems like it can go down even further on chain to 0.001, which is a tenth of a cent. And usually when you do a transaction at the moment on Ethereum, even with ERC20 tokens, usually costs like 3 cents, 5 cents, maybe 10 cents. But if it goes down to tenth of a cent with CK Sync, that would be pretty useful. And also that you can withdraw to mainnet under 15 minutes, multi-sig support, privacy is also coming in the future, permissionless smart contracts also coming soon. So it's like payments to existing Ethereum addresses, including smart contracts. Oh, here also is a very interesting one: fees paid in token being transferred. So you will be able to pay fees in HEX when you're doing a transaction. So I have experienced this thing when I'm trying to transfer maybe HEX, and then I need like a couple of dollars in Ethereum, always there. And it's one of these things that can get kind of annoying, especially if you want to introduce new people into Ethereum. And let's say they have a lot of value in one coin. Why do they need always to have Ethereum? Because they need to pay like 10 cents a transaction fee, and usually those gas fees are paid in Ethereum. But here, pay in the same token being transferred. That's gonna remove a lot of friction, and it's gonna make the user experience better for everyone that is using HEX on top of Ethereum. So this seems to be some I'm not sure if this is, okay, so zk-Sync, trustless protocol, scalable low-cost payments on Ethereum, powered by zk rollup technology, zero-knowledge proofs, on-chain data availability to keep users' funds safe as though they never left mainnet, security, priority for both end user. The best way to get you can try, yeah, you can also try zk-Sync at the moment, and yeah, it's kind of cool how it's going to eliminate a lot of friction. Now, I've seen how a lot of these progress on Ethereum is kind of moving forward. For example, Sorare, when I sell like ETH football cards, it's working better than the last year. And the user experience is much better. I noticed on EOS Dynasty that now supports Ethereum. They only support the first EOS blockchain, but their game now is also supporting the Ethereum blockchain, and it's getting better. Like the user experience is getting better, and the experience of using Uniswap, for example, that soon we may have social media versions that is using ERC20 coins, and then you can quickly swap them on Uniswap to other ERC20 coins. It seems like that is going to be kind of the future, to do most stuff on the same chain, because it probably adds way more security than every time you try to use many chains. And when you use many chains, you need even more transactions and verifications and confirmations, and it's just not a good user experience. So it seems like we're gonna see some interesting stuff with HEX here. So as I talked a little bit about, 4 months left on this launch phase. We're kind of 8 months in, and the launch phase is 351 days. Very interesting. So yeah, I mean, something big may happen or some big announcement may come in 7 days. No expectations, of course, but we know that people are working on interesting things in the HEX ecosystem. For example, there is an app that's being worked on that's called Staker from Hex.live Steph. He is also working on it, I've heard. where they're trying to make the user experience of staking much better, especially for the average person. So they have like an easy user interface and maybe an easy mobile app. And when you can stake HEX even easier than what it currently is, then that may make so you can increase scalability and adoption 1,000x, 10,000x, or something like that. Way more when more people have easier access to something, and you remove all these friction layers, then that's going to be kind of cool. So this staker app seems to be worked upon, and I've seen some mock-ups of the user interface, and it looks extremely nice. And if you ever used hex.live, then you know what kind of user experience you may be able to see in this staker app. So I think hex.live is clearly the most nicely designed user interface for Hex, and then they have the best, fastest APIs that updates the price in real time. And it's very nice to see having like competent developers and design people involved in the Hex community. And I've seen these other people like Coin Paprika and so on. Sure, they have like a nice graph, but then when you look at the stats, so Coin Paprika recently released a mobile app that is pretty good, but then you look at the Hex stats and everything is kind of wrong, which is kind of annoying. And you look at Nomics, they have some stats wrong, but then they say that the Uniswap traffic that Hex is getting, like the Uniswap transfers between Hex and ETH, they're saying that that is like bad, that's not like legit or something like that. Or you have like CoinGecko that can't list the market cap of Hex. You have like some of these CoinRank websites, they're trying to improve a little bit, but then they're doing some other things worse. Like for example, CoinGecko, they have the price pretty good, but then they don't have good fast APIs, and they don't list the market cap. And with other people like Coin Paprika, they only list half the market cap of Hex, while they're listing Bitcoin market cap with 4 million more coins, even though those are probably lost according to Wall Street Journal. And Wall Street Journal probably knows what they're kind of talking about. So it's like stuff is getting better inside of the Hex ecosystem, but these other sort of players, they're kind of slow to kind of improve their stuff, and they don't really understand that we're moving into this age where we don't have time for nonsense. Like these CoinRank websites need to get their stuff together, need to get their act together. It's 2020. You can't play games or do nonsense anymore. It's really amateur like, and you guys are supposed to be very professional in this ecosystem, same as these news websites that barely covers Hex. You're seeing a lot of these crypto influencers on YouTube. They're starting to talk a little bit about DeFi and like that staking coins are the future, but then they're kind of walking around talking about Hex. Like Altcoin Daily made a video about staking is the future and so on, and I only watched like 10 minutes of that video, or like a couple of minutes into that video. I'm gonna watch the full video after I'm recording this video, but I'm fairly sure they're probably not covering Hex. And they should, if you're in this industry, you should kind of be aware of Hex at the moment, because we're 8 months into this, and you should kind of be aware of it if you're in this industry, and you should kind of talk about it, I think. So we are gonna see what comes. Maybe some announcement in 7 days. That's gonna be pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, if you look at the price today, it is if you look at the old data here, it's up around 6% today to 0.0041, which is pretty interesting to see. It probably is because, well, ETH has been pumping a little bit. Well, I mean, the last 24 hours, it's only up 1%, while HEX is up 6%, but ETH is up now to $247. And it's going to be interesting to see if Ethereum again can go up to these like $500 levels or like $600 levels. I don't really know, because I know a lot of ETH guys are talking about, so a lot of ETH guys are talking about that, oh, it's ridiculous how low Ethereum is, but I don't really think Ethereum is that low. And I mean, like, for Ethereum to pump 2x, it would take massive amounts of money. So Ethereum is up 56,000% since October 2015, and HEX is up 7,000% at the moment. So I mean, if HEX would do maybe a 8x, what is it, like 7x or 8x or something like that now, then it would kind of be up to speed up there to Ethereum. And Ethereum came 5 years ago. Hex came 8 months ago. So you can kind of see here how Hex seems to, if you look at all data, we don't know what the future data is going to do, but it looks, if you look at the data, as Hex is moving at the 5x speed of Ethereum. And a lot of these Ethereum guys are talking, oh, we deserve a higher price of Ethereum, but why? I mean, it's down 83% since January 13th, 2018, and you can't pay interest in Ethereum. So why would the average user get more of something that is down so hardcore? Sure, Hex is down from its top, but it's only down 37% at the moment. 83% is way, way, way worse. And yeah, so that is what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Now, it is still pretty interesting with Hex. I don't understand why the Ethereum guys don't understand that Hex on Ethereum is kind of good for you guys, because your miners are getting a lot of fees coming in from Hex users that have to pay plenty of dollars to do a couple of transactions. So the miners are getting paid pretty well. So Ethereum guys should be pretty happy that that new users are coming into the Ethereum ecosystem when they're getting Hex coins. Or when they're earning Hex coins, they probably like Ethereum much more than. So I think that Ethereum, the main guys, should kind of try to do win-win more with Ethereum, or do win-win more with Hex. Now, it looks kind of like Hex probably will flip Ethereum, and if you look at the game theory behind the two coins, yeah, Hex is kind of designed to flip Ethereum. And as I talked a little bit about in the past, news websites have talked a little bit about this, that ERC20 coins now on Ethereum has higher market cap than ETH coin itself, and that trend seems like it's gonna keep on going. If you look at the 7-day performance, you can see that a lot of DeFi coins is pumping, like Waves, Aave, what more, Swipe. There are so many new coins kind of coming in here, which is what's kind of happening now is a lot of these old coins that used to be in the top hundreds, they're probably going to move down to top 150 or top 200 coins now, because they're not those projects, they're not innovating fast enough. They're going to be left behind. So a lot of these DPoS coins, a lot of those DPoS projects, they are going to be left behind. It seems like they are going to fall behind a lot. And also these other coins that have not really done anything interesting, like XRP, that's down 24 billion market cap, down to 9 billion market cap, and a couple of months ago it was down to 6 billion market cap. These really have to prove that they're worthy of being in the top 10, or they're also going to fall behind and they're not even going to be in the top 10s anymore. So you see this trend of coins being in the top 10s, and then when they start to fall, usually they do not return back, because it's like whatever momentum you have, you tend to move sort of in that direction. So stuff that tends to go up to the top, and stuff that tends to fall tends to keep on doing that, if not some radical new change happens. So a lot of these DeFi coins is pumping, like Kyber Network, Maker, Komodo. I haven't really checked out a lot of these because for me personally, whatever now they're doing, it doesn't really look that interesting. And I've been in the crypto space for 2.5 years. And what most of these other coins are doing, yeah, it's not really that interesting to me. But for other people, it seems to excite them a lot. And if it excites a lot of people, and if they're creating a lot of buzz, probably that eventually is going to just grow this ecosystem eventually, and more people are going to get into this ecosystem, and then probably more people eventually going to get into HEX. So if the ecosystem grows, then probably eventually most coins that are trying to innovate are probably going to benefit a lot from that, from a lot of new people coming in. Because I came into this industry from the ICO stuff, and I would not be in this industry if it wasn't for the ICO craze and like these high value of certain DPoS coins. So yeah, something big may happen. Some big announcement may come in 7 days. So I get kind of excited to hear about that. So let's see if something happens in 7 days. Uh, have a great day, YouTube.